Hello, glorious soul. Kelgunta here with your 13 signs sidereal astrology update for the week commencing the 23rd of August 2021. If we haven't met, hello, I'm Kel. And yes, I'm a 13 sign sidereal astrologer, and I'm also the creator of Soul Service Astrology. Soul Service Astrology is a method that uses 13 sign sidereal astrology, which I'll explain in a sec, to understand yourself deeply, take personal responsibility and take personal responsibility for your challenges, and tap into your strengths so that you can lean into your natural gifts, and then you're going to end up being able to tap into your highest purpose to be of the greatest joy and service this lifetime. 13 signs sidereal astrology matches astronomy. You're probably like, doesn't all astrology match astronomy? No, it doesn't. Tropical astrology bears no reference to what you can physically see in the sky. 13 sign sidereal astrology places the planets where you can actually observe them. So it takes account of a phenomenon called precession. So this is accurate astrology. It is using our observational powers of what we can see here on the planet to look out into the solar system and then use that to divine the archetypal energy so that we can have a different experience. We can step into that co-creative power of the solar system and the planet and ourselves and design the life that we desire to live. All right, what's going on in the skies this week? I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see the chart. There we go. Pop me up there in the corner. I think I'm already up in there in the corner. Alrighty, so Monday starts off with this lovely transit between Saturn and Venus. Saturn is in Capricorn, still retrograde, and Venus is in Mercury. Venus is in Virgo. Got Mercury on the mind today. All right, so let's take a look at Saturn. If you have been following me, you will have heard me talk about Saturn a lot. Saturn has been hanging out in Capricorn for the last 12 to 18 months. Saturn is the energy of the leader. And within us, it is our mastery and our expertness. So it is based on skills, strengths, weaknesses that we have walked with and through, and a level of mastery. So there's a certain sense of resilience. Perhaps there's time, perhaps there's things that we've had to go through. Maybe we've gone through around things. Maybe we've, found solutions. All those things come to form our mastery. And in Capricorn, it's the sign of the leader as well. So Saturn is at home in Capricorn. So this last 12 to 18 month period and through next year, it's really this feeling of, okay, I'm really consolidating down. I'm not out there looking for all these different ideas. Maybe I'm not even looking at new stuff. I'm really looking at what I got. What have I got now here? And what do I like to do? What am I good at? And what do I want to lead with, right? So these are our core methods that lead to a certain sense of mastery. So that's Saturn in Capricorn. Let's look at Virgo down here, Venus down here in Virgo. So Venus can have sort of two different faces. Historically, Venus was known as the love goddess and the war goddess. The goddess of love and war. It's a full moon tonight, so excuse me as I'm recording this if I stumble over my words. So Venus can be both the regenerator and the connector. It's very much about our embodiment. So we embody and we regenerate. So it is about our body. It is about this idea that maybe we do need to look at the things that we're putting into our body. We need to look at the things that we're doing with our body. And we also need to look at how we want to feel, because Venus within us wants to feel connected and juicy and sensual and stepping into their desires. Not desires just for the sake of desires, right? Not khaki addicted desires. I'm talking about really healthy desires founded on your values, not something that is holding you hostage, right? So Venus in Virgo is very much about our health. Venus there wants to regenerate us, to step into this wellness of health, the wealth of health, because Venus too is about wealth, but not just monetary wealth, right? If we are healthy, then we have the first step of wealth, because on our hierarchy of needs, the triangle, I always do this, our triangle hierarchy of needs, we need our survival needs met, our physiological needs met, before that we can start stepping into the higher levels. And you may have heard me say it before, but we're not going to be able to change the direction of our future if we're all in survival mode. But this week there is a lot of trine energy. Trine energy is flow. There's an ease. So perhaps there is an ease with you making the changes that you know you need to do, because Saturn here leads you. You've been here, you've done this before. What changes do I need to make to regenerate myself, to reconnect to self-love first, so that my wealth health bucket is full? So then I can go out and be the leader and share my mastery with the world and call in the other types of wealth that I'm looking for. This week is a great week to do that. And you may even see evidence of it starting to come in, where I take some care of my body. Oh, look at that. I've managed to, start stepping into someone saw me as a masterful or an expert, or I've stepped into my leadership a bit more. So there is a beautiful flow there happening between our core methodologies, our leadership, and our health as our wealth. It serves us before it serves others. So that's Monday. Let's take a look at Tuesday. I'm just going to have a look at my notes to make sure I'm on the right track, and I am. We have Uranus over here in Aries, now retrograde. All the outer planets are retrograde. Trine, another trine, down here to Mars. Uranus in Aries is the visionary warrior. Retrograde, there is a review to our vision. There is a review to our why. Why are we waging war for the changes that we desire to see in the world? Because this is Uranus, this is in the world. Now with the warrior there in Aries, there it is that, maybe there's some changes that we need to make in our life before we can see them reflected out into the world. Right, so there's a bit of a review going on there. Trining down here to Mars in Leo. Mars is the warrior. Mars is how we focus and we direct our energy and we take action. And in Leo, it really wants to take action into those heartfelt creative pursuits that we want to step into. Now, when I say that, for the longest time, I thought I wasn't creative. Now, you may think of yourself as not creative as well. Creativity takes many forms. And even if you would be traditionally not seen as creative or an artist, that is still your creativity. Even if you're a lawyer or if you're a doctor, there is problem solving. Anytime you need to solve a problem, you're being creative. That is the creator. So there's a beautiful flow here that we get to focus our vision. We get to focus with Mars and our creator on our vision. We get to charge it with some energy. We get to go, okay, well, maybe there's a few changes we want to make here. Maybe we want to, shake things up a bit. Maybe we do want to pour more of ourselves into this vision. And why the hell not? Perhaps this vision can be a vision for me, but maybe it will ignite others, that fire element, because it's a fire trine. Maybe it will ignite others because this Uranus is really about a community, a collective. Maybe it will ignite others. So I would really encourage you on Tuesday to allow your imagination to run wild. Wild imagination on Tuesday? Yep, wild imagination, ideas, because it's going to inspire you, but it can inspire others. And right now, at this very point in our history, we need all the warriors, all the inspirational warriors. We can walk with sadness, pain, grief, depression, and we can also walk with inspiration. We can do it together. And the more we do it together, the more we can change the world, because every single thing you see in the world right now was once an idea, and we can change the world how we want it to change. But we need to ignite ourselves and ignite others. So wild ideas, wild imagination, Tuesday and pretty much this week. All right, so that's Tuesday. Let's have a look at Wednesday, the 25th of August. I'm just double checking my notes and making sure that I'm talking about the right one. Now, we have Neptune. Here it shows it in Pisces, but in actual fact, Neptune is still observed in Aquarius in the sky. My astrology program is a little bit off. I have to find that in the back end. And it's opposite Mercury. So we have the higher mind, Neptune, the beacon, how we are basically just connected to all that is, unified field, infinite consciousness, the collective unconscious, that desire for us to be completely connected to everything. And it might be unconscious, this connection to everything. And it is your intuition. So this is higher mind, intuition in Aquarius. And it's opposite our lower mind. It's opposite Mercury in Leo. So Mercury is preparing over the next month before it steps into another retrograde cycle. So there's still work to be done. There's still logical and analytical work to be done. And it's in Leo. So it's probably been a bit like, oh, I've got to be creative, and perhaps you're applying a little bit more logic and analytical skills to your craft or your creativity. Perhaps you're speaking more. Perhaps you're sharing your story more. What this opposition is, this opposition between here is don't cut off the minds. So basically, you want to find a nice balance between your intuition feeding your lower mind and your lower mind feeding your intuition and it going through the mind. So we're not separate. Not the lower mind, just because I'm calling it the lower mind, isn't any better or any worse than the higher mind, and vice versa, right? So we want to find this nice dynamic balance between getting our beacon mind, our mystic mind in Aquarius, which is, stepping more and more into our spirituality. You can see that compulsion more to people becoming more spiritual, and I can feel it and I can see it, the collective, connecting more with the planet, connecting more with things that were traditionally very logical and analytical, but now they're starting to connect in with culture and society and more of the environment, and it is happening. And that is the lower mind coming in. So I would encourage you to play with that this week. Perhaps there's a problem that you can't overcome with your logical mind. I encourage you to step in and call in your higher mind to see if it can help you solve that problem, and vice versa. Perhaps you prefer to spend time in the higher mind and not let that information, because Mercury is information come through and flow through your throat center, perhaps in writing or speaking. Or perhaps you speak through images that is art or something like that. So I would encourage you to feel into that energy this week as well. So that's Wednesday. Let's step into Thursday. Thursday is nice and obvious. You can see it here. we have Pluto making a trine down to Mercury now. So I just explained to you what Mercury is in Leo. It's really the fired up storyteller, and it's applying it and writing very succinctly, or perhaps speaking. There's some form of communication that get our story out in a very creative, artistic, expressive, perhaps explosive way, because it's near Mars, right? Don't get into arguments. Oh, let's end bullying, everyone. Let's end bullying. And perhaps what this is about, this aspect between Pluto and Mercury, can we please question each other without taking it personally? But that means you kind of need to be a little bit Plutonian-like, and you need to not take things personally. Pluto takes nothing personally. If you need to change something, or if Pluto is coming along and changing and destroying something, typically beliefs in your life, it's not personal. It's just, this is what needs to happen. And I think that we can all learn something. That certainly came up for me. I have been trained to be questioned in science. It's a very common thing to have happen, where your work gets scrutinized by others and they question you about it. And it's never personal. Sometimes I would take it personally, because that's what humans sort of do. But at the end of the day, you go, oh, actually, it's a good thing to question. So I think this aspect for Thursday is really allow yourself to be questioned. And if you do want to question others, to be curious and to be okay that they might not share the same opinion as you. So it's kind of like you get to that point. My husband says it to me all the time. I think, not all the time, only some of the times. We wouldn't have got married otherwise. I think I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you at this point. And that's usually where we drop it, because we go, okay, we're just going to agree to disagree at this point, or otherwise it's going to end up in a huge argument, right? And nobody's willing to change their opinion. And everybody has a different set of beliefs. Everybody has a different experience. Everybody has a perception. So I feel like perhaps this trine energy, and it's trine, so it's positive, that we can all start to realize that, yes, we're going through a huge upheaval collectively with everything that's happening in the world and on our planet at the moment. And with that sense of curiosity and kindness, we can allow others to speak freely. We don't need to burn anyone down, and we can remain open, and perhaps by hearing someone else's perspective or belief or experience, it may change something in your subconscious belief system. You may realize, oh, I've got to go and look deeper there. And that's really that Pluto energy. So that's Thursday. Let's take a look at Friday. The main aspect that I want to talk to you about on Friday is Mercury stepping into Virgo. There is a couple of other aspects, but I'm only going to talk to the Mercury stepping into Virgo because it's very important. Friday, the 27th of August, Mercury steps into Virgo. Mercury is going to be in Virgo for a while because Mercury is going to go retrograde on the 27th of September. So in 1 month's time, from the 27th of August, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Virgo. So for the next month, it's an opportunity to plan, to strategize, to get stuff done, because when Mercury retrograde comes, it's going to be a time to rest, reflect, and look after yourself. And I'm nodding because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try something very new for this upcoming Mercury retrograde in Virgo. And I would encourage you over the next month, if you can take some time and find some space to rest and review between the 27th of September and the 19th of October, you've got now 5 weeks to plan for it so that you can then take some rest and renewal. And this is something I'm going to be using going forward. that each Mercury retrograde period throughout each of the years is a great time to rest, review, reflect, and renew. And in particular, find some space in our mind and decrease the amount of information that we're absorbing. So this is why it's important on Friday. You may feel the shift. Mercury likes to be in Virgo. Mercury might go and get a lot of stuff done. And it's all in preparation for the time to renew and rest that's coming up at the end of September. Okay, so that's Friday. You may want to start to think over the next 4 to 5 weeks about how you bring your skills into serve as well. So it's the skills that serve you and the skills that can serve others. That's something else that Mercury in Virgo that you can look at as well. All right, Saturday, I'm not going to talk about any aspect on Saturday. Sunday, the 29th, we have a square. I don't typically talk about the North Node so much because it is not a celestial body. It's a celestial point where the movement of the moon intersects with the movement of the sun, and you get the North Node and the South Node. The North Node archetypally represents our mission. It's where we're trying to expand into. It's those habits and patterns that we're attempting to create that sometimes feel really comfortable, but we feel this call to move there. Our soul is guiding us there because previously we've done opposite things. What I would call karma, our previous life experiences that are all happening at the same time, by the way. But I'm not going to go there tonight. And they may be showing up now as things that you feel comfortable in, right? So when the North Node is in Taurus, we feel called to be stepping more into, okay, where do we feel that into our alignment? Where do we feel our values are at? And perhaps some of our values are being questioned. Like particularly for me, my capitalist values are being questioned. So if we're talking from a collective perspective, are our capitalist, particularly in Western society, are our capitalist values really what we want to continue holding on to? It seems like capitalism's not really working so well. And, are we really treating the environment and the earth with the respect? And are we really connected to the earth to know and value the earth, that value in the earth? So this is and it's uncomfortable because we're going to have to change the way we do things, right? And Taurus gets comfortable, it likes to be comfortable, it likes to have the material things, but when there's this call to change our values, maybe we want to be more connected in a very earthy way. Maybe we don't need quite so many things. And there's this square to our sun. There is a fear here. Square energy is fear. What am I going to lose? What am I going to lose that I really, really like? That I really am, as a Leo, what's that beautiful thing that I really like? And what am I afraid? How am I afraid that I'm going to lose that? If I really start stepping into me as the creator, am I going to lose something? Am I going to shake the boat too much? So that fear might come up that, I'm going to lose something. Maybe this piece that I've created, this something that I've made and birthed from my heart, or I want to really express my authenticness. Maybe that's going to rock the boat too much. Maybe I'll just shut it down. You see? So that kind of fear may come up at the end of the week. But if you've worked with this energy this week, and there's a lot of trine energy this week, which makes it easy, and there's a lot of outer planet trine energy, which should make it easier to work with the retrograde because there's a lot of planets going retrograde at the moment. This fear should be very easy to work with. How do we work with that fear? I would say get your hands into some soil, plant some stuff, grow some plants, or get really mucky and create fabulous art. Or perhaps you want to free write, perhaps you want to scream or dance it out, perhaps you need to talk it out. Do something that allows that energy to move through your body, because Taurus is also about our body, and you've got the heart and the sun there, and Leo loves to, fire it up and move things out. So that's a way how you can work with this energy on Sunday. Okay, so I'll stop the share. Thanks very much for watching. If you would like to hang out with me more often, I do have a free Facebook group called Sidereal Stars with Kel. You are most welcome to come and join that. I do daily astro updates there. And also, if you would like your 13 sign sidereal birth chart, I have a mini evaluation at the moment. That's 111 Australian dollars, and you get your 13 sign sidereal birth chart, and I will record a 20-minute recording review of your birth chart. So you will get the main things on a recording that you'll have for the rest of your life and you can keep referring back to. So if you're interested in getting a little mini birth chart evaluation from me, then feel free to message me through whichever channel that you have listened to this, or you can go to my website, kellygunter.com, and all the various links are there. Have a beautiful day. Bye.